Hi, good evening. It's 6:40. It's 6:13 in the evening, and I decided to vlog my second vlog for this year. My first vlog was last January 9, and it was about our Black Nazarene. Uh, Tonight, I will be vlogging about life, and it has something to do with what Maury in the book Tuesdays with Maury, authored by Mitch Album, asked his student uh, this particular question: do we wither up or disappear? Do we wither up or disappear? Or do I make the best of the time left of my life? So because Maury was sick, Maury was sick of, I think, cancer, and his days were numbered. At the same time, he was old. And so, reflecting on this, I remember the life of my friend uh, uh, who passed away many years ago, and I relate her life to this particular question posed by Maury to his student Mitch. I would like to tell the story of this woman who did not stop living life until the very end of her mortal existence. Uh, this woman was beautiful. She was very dynamic. She had a very dynamic personality. She was very articulate. She was beautiful, articulate, very talented, and she was a prolific writer and a very good professor. In fact, she was named one of the outstanding teachers of the year in the search of for outstanding or model teachers by Metrobank. This woman founded one of the art and culture organizations in the Philippines. I don't know what happened to this organization now. No, I did not I do not have any information about it. But during the time it was founded by this woman, Cora. The name is Cora. It was definitely a big it had become a big organization, and a recognized one, especially by the commission, by the National Commission for Culture in the Arts. This organization I am referring to is the Philippine Association of Teachers for Culture in the Arts, or PATCA. The founding president was Cora Castro, and I succeeded her as the president of the association. It was founded in 1994. Years after the founding of this organization, when I was already the president, during one of our meetings, the meeting was held at Shakey's in Ligarda. I don't know if there is still a Shakey's in Ligarda. I've not been there for quite some time. And we were about to be planning about our projects when Cora um, surprised us with a very bad news. And what was that? She told us, friends, I have bad news for you. And so we look at her, waiting for what the bad news was all about. And then she really dropped the bomb on us. And she said, I am dying. And so we look at her. We could not believe it. So we did not say anything, but just look at her. Yeah, she repeated, I'm dying. I had been diagnosed with colon cancer, and the doctor gave me at least 6 months to 1 year to live. With that particular really, really bad news, no one of us was able to say anything for a few minutes. We are all quiet. It was a deafening silence that we had at the time. And when I summoned the the strength to say something. The first statement that I said was, who was that doctor? And what right has that doctor to tell you that your days are numbered? He is not God. That was what I told Cora. And the rest of us, the rest of the rest of the officials, officers of the organization, uh, uh, said in unison, yes, Diyos lang ang nakakaalam kung kailan tayo mamamatay. Diyos lang ang may karapatan sabihin na ang nakakaalam kung hanggang kailan ang ating buhay. And I told Cora, believe, make your faith stronger, and you will survive. And Cora looked at us, smiled at us. The radiance, there was radiance in her beautiful face, and she said, yes, I'm going to fight the big sea with you, praying with me. And so we prayed with her. We prayed together. And after praying, we buckled down to work, planning for our organization projects. And Cora was there again, her old self, very dynamic, very rich with ideas, very, very strongly telling us what to do, because she was acting then as an honorary president emeritus of the association. And so that was it. We continued our meeting. Cora continued to do her usual activities. She reported to the NCCA. We attended meetings together, and she continued to serve the university where she was connected as the research director, and live her life. However, as days went on, when she subjected herself into surgery and then chemotherapy, there was the deterioration of the physical body. We know how difficult chemotherapy is. So, the hair of Cora started to fall. And one day, she told me, crying, I have lost my hair. Sabi niya ganon. And so she was now in wigs. Nakawig na siya noon. And when she told me that, I cried with her. But as we cried and we laughed, because she was splicing her story, her narration of her hair fall with jokes. And so, as we cried, we were also laughing, para kaming mga timang na kumiiyak, tumatawa. And so, but the hair loss did not make Cora, did not force Cora to stay at home. Bumili siya ng maraming wigs, and then bumili siya ng mga gandang sombrero, and she came and reported to the office, to the university, na very glamorous. Para siyang nasa England na nakasombrero ng iba-ibang klase. And the students and faculty were actually looking at her and were amazed at this woman na dumarating, magandang babae, nakasombrero, parang si Princess Diana, no? Parang nasa England. And she was very confident of herself. And she was as gregarious as she was when she was not diagnosed with the big C. But she always carried with her biogesic. Nakita ko marami siya laging dalang biogesic, saka in case na may pain siyang maramdaman, she would be taking biogesic. Cora's life did not end because of her illness. Cora's activities continued, and despite the difficulty, despite the chemo, subjecting herself to chemo and then losing the hair, and eventually the body deteriorating, she made herself very, very useful, productive. She was able to finish a book of poetry. to the beast from a virgin. I think that's the title. And then she was able to finish writing her autobiography, which was published, but it was published and it came out of the press after her death. And she was able to do researches to mentor people who are young people who were interested in research. And she continued to attend meetings with me in the National Commission for Culture in the Arts, as well as the Philippine Association of Teachers for Culture in the Arts. And she started asking the husband to allow her to go out of Metro Manila. So every time there were conferences, because in the past he was not allowed to get out of Metropolitan Manila. Every time there were conferences outside of Metropolitan Manila, she would ask the permission of the husband, and she would always tell the husband, "I am with Ami." And when she told the husband, "I am with Ami," the husband would allow her because the husband trusted me. And so one time, one conferences that we attended was in Naga City. And in Naga City one night, I saw her dressing up to the nines. Talagang nag-aayos siya. So I was to get her and she told me, "I'm going out on a party. Would you like to go with me?" And so I said, I could feel that she wanted to be on her own that night. And so I said, "I'm a little bit tired and I don't like to go out anymore. I hope you can be with someone who can take care of you." Yes, sabi niya, "I'm with someone who will take care of me. So you can sleep, no? Just let me go out and enjoy the night. I may not be having so many nights like this anymore." So yun ang sinabi niya sa akin. And so, just like a good friend that I was to her, I let her go. But I could not sleep. I was waiting for her because, the husband entrusted her to me, rather. And so when she returned, it was almost past 1 o'clock in the morning, and I could feel the happiness, the excitement of my friend. I pretended to be asleep, but I was not. I was with my eyes closed. I could observe ang movement niya, very light, very happy. She was in fact humming a tune. And so perhaps it was because she was able to be on her own, to be free like a bird, na nakalaya kahit papaano sa sandaling oras na yon. And so we back to Manila and did our usual routine of meetings, attending to our works, and so on and so forth. But I can see the deterioration of Cora. And in meetings that we had at the NCCA, I could feel how weak she was already. And then finally, she stopped attending meetings. And then one day, before that pala, she invited us to her house for a dinner. And dun sa bahay niya after dinner, kinuha niya kahit anong makuha niyang libro sa kanyang cabinet ng mga libro. At binigyan kami, gitigisa ng libro. Ang napunta sa akin, isang volume ng great books. And sabi niya, I will not have the chance to read these books anymore. So, you get this, kung ano pa rin ang gusto niyo, kunin na rin ninyo. So, we were looking at her, but we did not want to dampen the evening, and so we did not talk about her illness. And so we left, and then one day I received a call telling me that Cora wanted us, the PATCA officers, kung sino man sa amin na makakapunta, to visit her in her house. So Pacelli, I think Dodi, and hindi ko malaman kung sino pa yung iba, and I went, I think Joki Butor, and I, saka si Lourdes Corpus, we went to her place, and there she asked us, please do perform. Sa kwarto niya, nakahiga siya sa kama, with her stomach already bloated. Let us have a performance here. Let us have a cultural show here with you and with me. sabi niya. So we did. Nag-recite kami ng poem sa kanyang kwarto, and then she also recited the poem of Jose Garcia Villa, Mir Inisa. No? And so, it was that. And then, after that, she sent me a letter requesting me that uh, I give a message to her, to the book launching of her autobiography, to attend and give a message to the book launching of her autobiography, which I said yes. But unfortunately, she was not able to witness the launching of her autobiography because she passed away. But she told us earlier when we had like moments, nandun kami sa kanyang kwarto, na kami ay nag-cultural show. Sabi niya, I have already instructed my family that when I die, when I go, I should be dressed in red. And there should be, sabi niya parang, there should be a rose na doon sa aking coffin, na dala-dala ko. And something like that. No, I remember what she told us, and that she had instructed her niece na make-upan siya na maganda. She's really beautiful, no? And kailangan maganda siya ng soling sandali. And so, she passed away. But she passed away, and hindi siya na umalis nang hindi naging makabuluhan yung buhay niya sa mga huling sandali. Yung 6 to 1 year, I think na hindi naman talagang 1 taon lang eh. Medyo nadagdagan ang taning sa kanya. Tumaba na nagpapagamot siya. She made herself very productive. And this is what I am relating to you now. And relating her story to that of what Maury said to his student, Mitch Albom. Should we wither up or disappear in the remaining time left of us? Yes. Should illness prevent us from doing things what we can do? Should old age prevent us from doing things we would like to do? Discovering things, doing things, going anywhere we would like to go, writing, performing, everything that we would like to do. Illness and old age should not stop us from accomplishing things, as long as we are still our faculties, our minds are still lucid, our eyes are still bright, we still can see, we still have our hands are still strong, our feet are still not that weak, not wobbling yet, you know. Then do things that we would like to do. Produce, so that the remaining time we have in this world, left for us in this world, will be spent well, truly well, and of course, spent well with our loved ones. So yun ang inano ni Cora, yun ang ginawa ni Cora. And I would say that was what Maury was doing when he decided to spend time Tuesdays with his old students, Mitch, and they talk about the meaning of life. What is really the meaning of life? And the meaning of life is something that would make us, para sa akin, life is being productive, life is being useful. The meaning of life is doing things we love to do. Loving people we love to love, we care, and spending much time with our family. And I would also like to relate the story of my sister, Sinaida, who is afflicted with breast cancer and is under medication for more than 2 years already. Yes, she was diagnosed with the big C, but she did not allow the illness, the big C, to conquer her spirit. She still does what she used to do in the past when she was not ill. She lives with me, and every morning she would cook our breakfast. She would clean our house. She would she would feed our dogs, and she would water our plants. And she still teaches, and she is not feeling sorry for her life. She is so prepared, but she does not like to be prevented from doing things because she's telling us, if I stop doing things, then I will be remembering that I would be thinking of my illness, and it would make me miserable, and I don't like to be miserable. I want to be useful. I want to be the usual me when I am not yet afflicted with this big C. And so that's life. If we are sick, then pray. If we are old, then you let us age gracefully, and let us not make our being old a passport for us to do nothing, but wallow in despair because we are old. If we are no longer beautiful, and we used to be beautiful in the past, we should not look. We should just try to look back and remember the beautiful person that we were in the past. The physical beauty. I am referring to the physical beauty, no? Because many of those who became old and lost their beauty later, minsan nalulungkot sila. There's nothing to be sorry for losing the beautiful you, the physical beauty that you had in the past, because lahat naman tayo talaga ay tatanda at mawawala ang kagandahan natin. Ang kailangan lang ay tingnan natin ang buhay na hindi natin ito, the remaining years of our life should not be spent unproductively. It should always be spent productively. And that's why I'm vlogging. I want to be productive. I want to really share until now at age 74. So, to all the old people like me, spend the remaining years of our life happily, doing things we love to do, and always living life happily. So, this is my blog tonight. Thank you very much. And do continue to support this old woman. Watch my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Just me, Amalia. Thank you so much. Good night. And let us continue to observe the health protocol, because COVID is still around, hovering in the air, perhaps. Thank you so much. Good night. See you again in my next vlog. Thank you. Bye-bye.